Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you all for tuning in today, and if you don't mind, please smash the like button on this video. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. It'll push the video out to more people. That way more viewers can see it just like you're seeing today. And also, guys, if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content and hit the notification bell. That way you can be notified when we put out new videos. We do put out a minimum of 3 videos a day. So you'll be notified if you are following and subscribe to the channel, okay? So got some major breaking news coming out of Yemen again. So it hasn't even been 24 hours yet, guys. We're coming up on 24 hours, but we're like 18 hours, something like that. So currently around 10:30 p.m. Yemen time, it appears that the Houthis have attacked another ship, guys. And it looks like this was a mistake because they targeted a Russian oil tanker. And it appears that it was 90 miles southeast of the Gulf of Aden, just off the coast of Yemen, guys. So, I mean, look at how quickly that happened. It's not even been 24 hours, and the Houthis are already attacking more ships. They have not attacked our Navy or the UK, ships, warships, or anything like that. We haven't seen that happen in terms of a retaliation. But here we go. They're already attacking more ships, but this is a mistake for them because they have attacked a Russian oil tanker. So let's see how Russia responds to this. I'm not sure if they're just going to immediately put the blame on the US and the UK for starting this whole mess or what. But I mean, at the same time, these ships, whether they be Russian or wherever they're coming from India or wherever, they're all at risk of being hit. So at the same time, even though the Houthis have attacked this ship, Russia's taking that chance by sending these ships through the Red Sea. Okay, so I'm kind of curious to see how Russia's going to respond to this, but more than likely, I think they're going to just right off the bat blame the US and the UK for this and not necessarily the Houthis, because they're already upset at us with bombing, Yemen yesterday. So I want to get into this article real quick. So Yemen airstrikes, fresh missile attack on Red Sea ship reported after Houthis vow revenge. Okay, so a fresh missile attack on a Red Sea ship has been reported after Houthi rebels warned that British interests were legitimate targets following the RAF and the US unleashing airstrikes in Yemen. The overnight bombardment by US and UK warplanes, ships and submarines was launched in response to weeks of drone and missile attacks on commercial ships in the vital Red Sea. The Houthis vowed fierce retaliation. Military spokesman, Brigadier General Yahya Saree said the strikes would not go unanswered or unpunished. And on Friday evening, the UK Maritime Trade Operations, which oversees Middle East waters, reported a new missile attack off Yemen. It said the missile was fired towards a ship 90 miles southeast of Aden, Yemen, but the ship reported no injuries or damage. A British maritime security firm said the militants had mistakenly targeted a tanker carrying Russian oil. Rishi Sunak warned that Houthi attacks threaten the economy and that the Prime Minister and Foreign Secretary David Cameron did not rule out further strikes against the Houthis. So here we go, guys. They're already attacking more ships. They have yet to retaliate against the US and the UK for bombing them yesterday. But we do already have attacks here in the Red Sea. It hasn't even been 24 hours and they're already attacking again. So clearly they have not been wiped out. Clearly the attacks were not as effective as what they're telling us because they clearly still have the ability to attack. Okay. There's also apparently in the last hour multiple reports actually, of small boats approaching a merchant ship near the Gulf of Aden. The United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations organization received multiple reports on Friday of small boats approaching a merchant ship 80 nautical miles southeast of the Yemeni port city of Aden. Two small boats are reported to have followed a merchant vessel for over 1 hour. The advisory note said, adding the vessel reported that no weapons were sighted. An incident had been reported earlier on Friday around 90 nautical miles, southeast of Yemen's port of Aden. The United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operation said authorities were investigating. So, in terms of these boats, it doesn't look like there was an attack, but there were several small boats that were approaching a merchant vessel, apparently for over 1 hour. So that story's still developing. I'm not quite sure what else is going to come from that. Maybe we'll hear later that that ship was attacked by boats, and maybe again the U.S. Navy is going to take out these boats just like they did a few weeks ago. But we'll report on that some more whenever I find out what happens with that. If there is anything that comes from that, it could just be a small incident. We'll see. But the U.S. Is stating that they will not hesitate to strike again. So will they strike again? Whenever we see some sort of response, we'll have to see. The United States does not want war with Yemen, but will not hesitate to take further action in response to Houthi attacks in the Red Sea. The White House has said, we're not interested in a war with Yemen. We're not interested in any kind of conflict here, which is what White House spokesperson John Kirby told reporters on Air Force One. Everything the president has been doing has been trying to prevent any escalation of conflict, including the strikes last night, which again it can go either way, is how I see it. Like, you're not trying to prevent any escalation, but at the same time, you are creating more escalation by bombing them, So as I reported in one of my other videos today, the Yemenis people are already rallying in Sana'a, their capital, and there's tens of thousands of people there that are calling for war, and they're all uniting, and they're upset with what happened. So this is going to create escalation no matter what, whether they state that they're not trying to, seek an escalation or war with Yemen. They're already asking for it just by doing this. And unfortunately, I feel like they had no choice but to strike Yemen last night, but they did. And also, let me see if I had something else here. So a little bit more information on the Russian oil tanker that was hit. So yeah, they mistakenly targeted a tanker carrying Russian oil in a missile attack on Friday evening off Yemen. The United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations Organization said it had received a report of a missile being fired 90 nautical miles southeast of Yemen's port city of Aden. The master reported a missile landing in the water 400 to 500 meters away and being followed by 3 small craft. So there were no injuries and no damage. So I'm assuming the tanker was not hit. It looks like the missile landed in the water, but they did target this Russian oil tanker. Okay, so maritime security experts Ombre said this was the second tanker mistakenly targeted by the Houthis while carrying Russian oil. Yemen's Iranian-backed Houthi militants who control much of Yemen have launched wave after wave of exploding drones and missiles at Western commercial vessels in the Red Sea since mid-November. So again, guys, here, like I said, not even 24 hours later, the Houthis are already right back at it and targeting ships. And again, they are going to continue doing this for the entire year or however long it takes for Israel to wrap up their operation in Gaza. And it doesn't look like they're winding down anytime soon. So this is going to continue. More than likely, what we will see here is the Houthis will launch an attack, a large attack on the U.S. Navy over there, and also UK warships and anybody that's connected to them, and also these commercial vessels that are going through the Red Sea will continue to be attacked. And probably after we get this retaliation event from the Houthis when they attack our warships again, we're probably going to bomb them again. Be ready for that. It's probably going to happen again, more than likely. I wouldn't be surprised in the next week or so, because I'm sure the retaliation is probably going to come soon. We'll have to see. And the U.S. and the U.K. already said they will attack again if needed. So expect this to continue here, and it's going to get very interesting over the next week or two to see what happens here. But I'm really curious to see how Russia's going to respond to this, and what they're going to have to say about it. Because they could either blame the U.S. Over this, or will they condemn the Houthis for this mistake? I don't know. But we'll just have to see, guys. But that's the latest on this. I just wanted to give you an update regarding this. This information literally just broke in the last like 30 minutes. So I wanted to update you guys as soon as possible so that way you're aware of this. But yes, the first attack has already happened after the Houthis have been hit last night in Yemen. So this is going to be a developing story. If more information comes from this, I will update you guys immediately. But that's the latest on the Houthi militants launching their attacks in the Red Sea at this time. So thank you guys for watching. I'll update you again soon, and take care and God bless.